motherfucker.
Yeah, she's hot.
What's up, guys? We are live.
I mean, Fossil, would you suck a fart out of her ass or what?
Maybe.
Jeez.
As long as there weren't kernels.
Oh, Dave, did you say we were live? Oh, no. Oh, we would not suck a fart out of anybody's ass, YouTube.
Yeah, especially Dave.
We're getting canceled.
Yeah.
Oh, like,
Yeah.
Okay.
Our 3 listeners are going to be like so disgusted by that they would be like, cancel culture. I don't think
Reported. Welcome.
Yeah.
Yes, we have arrived to review another mediocre movie.
I mean, look, this is definitely better than the 2 movies we talked about last week.
Look,
is it though?
Yes.
I just want to take 1 second to address one of our fans. Okay, I'm not going to mention their name, but they need to calm the fuck down with their requests a little bit. Okay, we heard you. We saw it the first time and the second time. All right.
Listen, Fred fucks. We're working on a WoW podcast. Okay.
Yeah, we're having to figure out the best method to do it. Okay, so just relax. It's in the pipeline. If you don't watch us on YouTube and you only listen to the podcast and you don't get this, then you're not a real fan anyway. So,
yeah. But listen, Vic, here's the deal too. Make sure your goddamn cousin is listening to this goddamn WoW podcast. All right, because we want our goddamn abyss crystals back.
Yes, Gexney. He's not allowed to subscribe to our YouTube channel unless he's gonna, Venmo me some abyss crystals.
Yeah,
I think he's following the YouTube channel just for this moment.
Oh man, dude, how about the best password in the history of time, dude? Gexney Chode Liquor.
Dude, that was the password for our vent for like 2 years.
Oh my god!
Oh shit, fucking asshole. Oh man. Oh, I just needed to get all my gear enchanted.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you do. For the new guild you're about to join,
Yeah.
Gag Reflex DLF has kicked Gexney from the guild or from the raid.
Oh shit.
Oh man, I booted that motherfucker right out.
We never even really played with that guy.
We played with him like twice, and then the second time is when he had us wipe the raid.
What a chode. You know who wasn't a chode though? Fucking Zelly, dude. What was his character name?
Sly Assassin, I think.
Yeah, whatever it was. Fucking Scarlet Monastery. Hoo-hoo. Man, I thought I'd never reach the power levels.
I thought
Watching him fucking just crush Scarlet Monastery.
I thought his character's name is his YouTube.
Obese Donkey.
Obese Donkey.
Yeah,
That's
what it was. What it was.
Yeah, and
when that dude gathered up at the very end, when he gathered up everybody in that room and did the little fucking swirl and killed everybody, I was like, I'm sitting at my computer, I'm like, holy shit.
I think I might have said, Josh, dude, that's going to be you one day.
Oh, shit.
Dude.
Hey, fuck all that. We're not here to talk about WoW, goddammit.
That was just a tease. That was a tease.
That's just a taste. We're here to talk about the 2021 version of Mortal Goddamn Kombat.
Some more death, destruction, filth, and greed.
That's right. That's right. This motherfucker is brutality.
Yeah, if nothing else, it's pretty much just brutal. If it doesn't do anything else for you, it's very violent.
Yep. All right. We ready to kick this bitch off?
Do it.
Here we go.
Pull it.
I think you can fit that whole thing in your mouth, Dave. That's good. That's good. You've been practicing. All that practice has been working. Hello, and welcome to Three Guys and a Mic presents a review of the new 2021 Mortal Kombat. I'm your co-host, the Human Dart, along with David Disaster and Jason Tsunami.
Let's go.
Hey!
Let's go.
We're here. We made it.
Oh my god, I'm dying over here.
Jason,
It is the new 2021 version.
Jason, you are unprofessional.
Both of you are, you sons of bitches. God damn. Hey, what's up, podcast world? How you guys doing?
Oh my god, I'm glad we're here.
Yeah. Dave, Jason, you guys good?
Yeah, is this going to be our first new movie review?
Yeah, I think it is
so.
actually.
Yep.
Hey, and this is a perfect one to pop our proverbial cherry, as they say. We're talking about the new Mortal Kombat, the one that just came out about a week ago here.
Yep. So,
everybody seen it? Everybody seen it? It's all good?
Yep.
If you have here, spoilers are incoming.
Yeah. If you haven't seen this movie, press pause, watch it, and come back in about an hour and 51 minutes.
Yeah.
And get ready to get fucked. We're going to fuck your ear holes with this fucking thing.
Jesus.
Yeah.
This is true.
Yeah.
It's true. It's damn true.
So if you've heard some of our AFI movie reviews, we're going to kind of go in the same vein here. We changed up some of the categories, obviously, to kind of fit this movie versus some of our more traditional movies that are like 40 or 50 years older here. So we'll have some different categories going, but we will definitely be giving our patent pending shitometer scores for this movie. And we're going to start off here with the human fossil. Fossil's going to give us a recap.
I've thought about just for shits and giggles, just trying to copyright the shitometer, just to see what the process would be to try to copyright that.
What exactly is a griggle?
Did I say that?
Yeah.
You said shits and griggles.
Shits and griggles. Hey man, you know what? That's another thing to copyright.
There you go. We got to put that on a shirt.
All right, you ready?
Yes.
Yeah, give us that recap, Fossil.
It's not going to be as good as shit and griggles.
Uh.
Mortal Kombat is a 2021 martial arts fantasy reboot of the 1995 film based on the video game franchise of the same name. This film follows the family line of Scorpion in the form of our main character, Cole, a down-and-out MMA fighter who gets pulled into the power play for Earth by the realm of Outworld. With a cast of characters from the video game, we set out for our kung fu action and bloody finishers to save the Earth from the evil grip of Soul Eater Shang Tsung. There you go.
All right.
Fuck
good.
yeah.
All right.
Dude, I'm pumped up.
Yes, that was excellent.
Hey, so real quick, just a couple of stats
flawless
here
victory, Jason. Flawless victory.
Before we get into the just our thoughts here, let me just give you just a couple of stats here. So the budget for this movie was $55 million.
Jesus.
So far,
isn't that only like 15 million more than Street Fighter?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, look, 25 million of Street Fighter was fucking Jean-Claude Van Damme.
And his cocaine.
And his cocaine habit. So far, this movie has grossed worldwide $58 million.
Hey,
so does that account for? How are they accounting for HBO Max views in that?
I don't think it's counting views. This is actually people that have gone to the theater worldwide and watched this.
I just wonder if they're factoring in that at all into the success.
There has to be like a set number that HBO has paid.
Yeah.
That they factor in as part of whatever the revenue is.
HBO probably paid them like $500 million to release their whole slate for the year or some shit.
Yeah, it was probably one lump sum, I'm sure.
Yeah, I would imagine so. But I thought that was pretty interesting so far in 1 week. Worldwide, it's made $58 million, so they've at least made their money back.
Correct.
Which is good because they set it up for a sequel. Spoiler.
Yeah, well, I've heard a trilogy.
Oh.
Well, we know for sure they've set it up for at least. I mean, in this movie, they set it up for at least one more movie. So
yeah.
I will say that the first run of movies was supposed to be a trilogy as well until Annihilation came out, and it was so
Annihilation
bad.
Was garbage.
It was bad that it pretty much derailed the third installment.
All right. So has anybody watched this movie more than once this week?
I've watched it 1.5 times.
I watched it once full, and I've skimmed through it to get some highlights.
All right, I've watched this movie 3 times. Okay.
Jesus.
Listen,
I
like this movie.
Did it get better with each time or different?
Different. I don't know if it got better each time, but the first time was the most enjoyable, obviously, just because you're watching it just through the lens of I want to just enjoy the movie. And then the next couple of times I watched it through the lens of I'm trying to take some notes and kind of pick up on some things that I missed before.
By the third time, was there anything that you wanted to fast forward?
No, not really.
Okay, that's good.
No,
that's good.
I watched I pretty much watched the whole thing today when I watched it for the third time. Or no, yesterday, excuse me. I watched the whole thing yesterday, and then I put it on again today just to see if I could catch any other things real quick, which I did catch one other little nugget that I missed the other 3 times. But I would tell you, so far, I've really enjoyed the movie.
Okay.
I think, we have some friends out there in the world, and, I think, Dave, you might be one of those same people that are just like the story and the editing and all this other bullshit. Like, I just don't watch movies that way. Like, if a movie is just enjoyable, like, I just don't sit there and look at all the other blemishes the whole time.
Well, that's why there's 3 of us on here, man, to get different perspectives.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I just found myself really enjoying this movie. I enjoyed the nostalgia of it for sure. I enjoyed watching the movie and comparing it to the previous one and some of the things I thought were better in the previous one and some of the things I thought were better in this one. And that'll be a category kind of coming up here a little bit later. We'll have a chance to talk about some of those things. But overall, I thought the movie was really good. I enjoyed it. Does it have issues? Obviously. But overall, great movie.
Agreed. I mean, for me, I thought this movie was enjoyable. I would definitely watch it again. It's I don't remember how long it is. It's like right under 2 hours.
It's like an hour 50.
Yeah. I think the movie's very good. I do think it has problems. It just depends on what you want out of the movie, right? Like, and that's something that I guess I struggled with initially when right as soon as the movie, like the credits rolled. I think I wanted more from the movie, and I'll get into that a little bit. Well,
you found yourself just kind of like too hyped up.
Maybe, like, I think I was hyped up because the initial reviews on Rotten Tomatoes were overly promising, and so then I kind of hyped myself up, and then I think the opening scene in this movie really set it up for me to like, oh shit, like they're gonna go deep in the lore, they're they're really trying to do some Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon type shit with this movie.
God, that's the second time you said that. That's so stupid.
Look, that's just how the movie was presented to me. Okay, that's just how.
You're just saying that because it's like another kung fu movie. Like, it doesn't have to be Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Anyway,
also, it does feel like 2 separate people wrote this movie sometimes. Like that first part of it is very well written, and it feels like a totally different movie.
Yes,
than the next hour 40.
Yes, yeah. And that's kind of, and that maybe that's another thing because they did release the first 7 minutes of this movie as a preview, right? And I watched that, so I had this idea in my head that the movie was going to be a certain way, and then I kept waiting throughout the movie. I was like, okay, when's it gonna take this turn? When are we gonna get back to that? And they don't even reintroduce Scorpion until the very fucking end of the movie, and that actually wasn't one of my favorite scenes at the end there. It was fine, but it was
I
whatever.
agree.
It was to way underused, and yeah, that's it.
We just asked the general question.
You know what?
The movie.
You know what? Fuck you. I can answer this how I want to.
Here, let me just keep this quick. 10 minutes later, somebody stop me.
All right, man. Why don't you give us some anecdotal story then?
I'm not going to give you one.
All right.
Look, I came in with zero expectations and was thoroughly entertained for the most part. There are issues, like we've all said. I think we each have maybe a different issue, so I'm curious to see how that goes. But it was great to see this movie with even. I'm surprised that the budget was that low, given how well I thought the effects were in this movie.
Yeah, specifically the death.
Yeah, I feel like maybe just those effects don't cost as much anymore. Like I feel like maybe you know back in the day with Terminator 2, like that shit was so revolutionary and different that maybe like it, you know, because it was so new at the time, it just cost more money because there were less people who could do it. Now I feel like little Johnny, 10 years old, can make somebody look like they got cut in half.
Probably.
I think the practical effects probably play a different part in it too. I assume practical effects may be more expensive. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how that works.
Like I feel like maybe Jax's arms were probably more expensive than maybe some of the bloody scenes.
Could be.
I am curious, like just out of curiosity, seeing how close this budget was to the original, because wasn't the original 35?
The original was 18 million.
Okay. I'm curious what cost more, the god-awful Goro of 1995
or this Goro,
or the much better looking Goro of 2021.
I feel like it's got to be the first one.
The first one was like prosthetic and
like
mechanical
puppetry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say it's almost like comparable to the Terminators. Like the first Goro is like the first Terminator.
Yes, stop motion animation.
Yeah,
almost.
Like once it stops being Arnold and it, you realize then it's actually a Terminator, then it becomes very hard to watch. Yeah, it's very similar to that for sure. So let's hit these shitometer scores right at the top here. So,
okay.
The original Mortal Kombat aggregate score we gave was a 69.3.
What a great number.
Yeah, I think I gave that one a 74 if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna come in well into the recommend section here, and I'm gonna give it a 45.
Oh.
All right. I would absolutely recommend anybody that likes fighting or gory shit to watch this movie.
All right, I'll go next. I also I know I did not recommend. I don't remember the specific score I gave Mortal Kombat, the 1995 one, but this one I am also going to recommend it. With some asterisks that we'll talk about later. But I gave it a 46 actually.
Oh,
look at that.
So yeah, definitely, I would definitely recommend it. If you're into action and martial arts.
I was the only person that recommended the original Mortal Kombat for people that are nostalgic for the video game, etc.
That's true.
And I think I gave it a 50, which is the highest I could go while still recommending it.
Yep.
And I'm surprised. I am surprised how close all of our scores are. I gave this one a 44.
Oh. That's just not planned.
So that's an aggregate score of 45.
All right, so Josh, you are correct. You win.
Yep.
You picked the aggregate score.
Congratulations.
Nice. That's pretty interesting because none of us have talked about this all week.
Yeah. Normally we text each other the scores like throughout the week, but we didn't get a chance to this week.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, that's good. So we all enjoyed the movie. Pretty seems like pretty similarly. Dave, do we need to adjust anything there?
Yeah, I do. We lost one of our guys there.
Craig.
Yeah, hold on.
Thank God his cousin's here.
You ain't got to lie, Craig.
We can keep talking. I'll adjust it while we do our thing.
All right. Well, let's hop right into favorite scenes here. I've written down a few favorite scenes. I'm going to steal everybody's favorite scene right here, right off the top. That's going to be the dinner scene where Kano discovers his Okana.
I told you it'd be fucking laser beams.
Yeah. He's like, well, both of you, get down on your knees and suck my sack.
Yeah, it's so good.
Oh, man. So just sitting down at fucking dinner, And just leading up to this, they're constantly beating up Kano and Cole, trying to help them discover their Okana, which whatever, their superpower, whatever you want to call it. And so fucking Kung Lao and Liu Kang just set in on just straight fucking with Kano the whole time. And man, they are calling him fat and lazy, a terrible fighter. He called him what do you call him? Some kind of a bunny, where he's fluffy and he's harmless.
Yeah.
And like Kano the whole time is just getting so worked up. He's getting up, yelling at these fucking guys. And I thought one of the best power moves of this whole dinner is when the first time that he asked for an egg roll and Kung Lao reaches over there, like picks it up like he's going to give it to him. And he comes back and takes the biggest fucking bite of this egg roll. Man, and that shit looked good. This looked like the fucking dinner scene from Hook, man.
I'm hungry just thinking about it.
I know. But anyway, so they finally push him far enough to where Kano's like, "Hey, give me a goddamn egg roll!" And then, wow, he shoots a fucking laser out of his eye.
And then he's so happy. He's so ecstatic. He's like, fucking laser beams.
Yeah, dude, that shit's so fucking good.
And he looks over at Liu Kang. It's better than fireballs, you pussy.
Yeah.
I love Kano.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what's so funny? I talked to somebody here over the last week about this movie, and they're like, "Boy, I hate Kano." I'm like, "What?"
What?
He's like, "Yeah, man. I mean, come on, just so over the top, and just blah." I was just like, "Dude, you're crazy." Like, I fucking love Kano, and everybody I've talked to loves Kano.
If it wasn't for Kano, this movie would not be rewatchable.
I feel like it would certainly be a worse score. Kano carries a lot of the score for me for this movie.
Does.
I think it'd be in the 50s at the highest.
It would be it'd be very drab, boring. The movie would just kind of slug along.
Yep. What'd you guys have, Jason? What'd you have for a favorite scene?
I'm probably gonna. I don't know if I'm stealing Dave's or not, but the opening scene.
Fuck you.
The whole setup, the backstory. There are issues in this movie, and we'll get to.
Yep.
But I love the fact that we did like this origin story between two of the most iconic characters from the video game, because people would choose sides. You were either mostly Sub-Zero or you're a Scorpion fan.
Yeah.
And to give their backstory as to why they hate each other so much, or they're rivals.
Yeah.
I thought was an interesting twist for this movie to take, and I thought they did really well. And that opening scene is shot so well, and done so nicely. It's really, really good stuff.
Yeah, and to be fair, like it's nice to see them get this treatment, because in the first movie, man, they are throwaways.
Well, Sub-Zero especially.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But in the only lore you get in the first movie is he says
sworn enemies,
but now loyal slaves or something like that.
Yeah.
And here it's like, oh shit, yeah, they clearly hate each other. Like fucking Sub-Zero murdered this dude's whole fucking family and clan, right? And killed him, right? And killed him.
Yeah.
So I mean, the dude fought back from hell to enact his revenge. I mean, shit. I guess I'll pivot off of Jason here. That's also my favorite scene. And I wanted more of that. Like, I wanted more of that storyline. Like, I could have taken the first 20, 30 minutes of that to get more of what we got there. So, yeah. I mean, I think Josh, you said it earlier. It almost feels like that was shot by a completely different like director and team. Like, it's shot really well. I love the scenery. I love everything about it. Runner-up scene for me, as far as favorite scene. I mean, there's a bunch, but I liked the Goro fight. I thought the Goro fight was pretty good. Okay. But that's on a much lower tier. in my opinion.
Did you think at one point like he was going to do the throat punch?
What do you mean?
It was very much Roadhouse out in the woods.
Oh shit! Yeah,
you thought he was gonna rip his throat out.
Yeah,
dude. Honestly,
That'd
was
been awesome.
I was waiting for like the nod to the first movie. I was waiting for like the nuts kick or the nuts punch, but we never got that. So
yeah,
that's a Johnny Cage move.
Well, I know Johnny Cage's not in this movie, so
yeah. Spoiler alert. The other scene I had just kind of as a backup here was the one where Kano breaks down the barrier, which leads to like the first big fight.
Yep.
Between like Earth and the Outer World guys, and that's the first time you get to really interact with like Cabal.
Cabal's
Melina.
Good. I liked Cabal.
Cabal is very entertaining. And then you probably get some of the better deaths.
Yeah.
In the whole movie and during these fights. So I thought that was also another good scene.
Agreed. Kano is just a dickhead like the entire time.
But he's the comedy relief of this movie.
For sure.
He might just be the relief from this movie.
Did y'all have any other favorite scenes you want to talk about?
No, not me.
No, not me.
All right. Well, cool. Let's get right into the main event here. Let's talk about the best kills.
All right. I mean, I think there's one that's going to be above the rest.
Yep. So what was the flying girl's name again?
Natara.
Yeah. So just to set the scene here, you get this chick with some wings, and she's flying around. She works for old Shang Tsung, and Shang Tsung has kind of summoned her into the fight. And Kung Lao is ready.
Yep.
And
it's a fatality of his in the game, by the way.
In the game, yep. He calls his hat down onto the ground, turns it on like it's a fucking saw blade, and he rides that bitch until she gets cut in half.
Like, and it is
brutal,
graphic. Like,
Jason,
I'll tell you a little story.
Yeah,
Jason, tell us the story.
All right, so I'm watching this with my 11-year-old upstairs.
Solid choice, Jason. Solid choice. Yes, great parenting.
The internet is not good, and the movie is playing in like HD, 4K, whatever it is. And so I'm getting some buffering throughout the movie. So every, 10 to 20 seconds, it just kind of freeze frames until we get to this fight. Right as her head hits the hat and starts to split apart, it freeze frames. And it's the longest freeze frame that we've had up to that moment. And me and my son are just sitting there going, oh, because the freeze frame lasts for probably 2 to 3 seconds, but it felt like 10.
And I mean, he's cutting her in half for a solid 3 or 4 seconds as well. Yeah. Like it's like you see it cut her all the way down through the mid torso.
Yeah, like it starts at the head and the brain's split in half, the face through the neck, the chest. I mean, it's brutal.
Yeah. But I mean, the most entertaining part of that movie for me, for sure, was that part. I was up on my feet, clapping like, yes, that shit was so good. And then he hits her and then he puts his hat on, fucking does his little gimmick there, and he's like, flawless victory.
Oh man, it's like, look, is that cheesy? Is that corny? 100%. Yeah, but that's why. So good. That's why you watch this movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, for anyone that's watching this movie, if you're not going in you would be disappointed if they didn't bust out a flawless victory or finish him or fatality. Like, that's why you fucking watch it. Yeah, you. Look, the get over here is fucking awful in this movie, but
I have that later.
But you have to have it.
Yeah. I agree. What do you guys think? What's another one of the best kills?
I'll go. So because you already stole one of mine. So yeah. I thought the Goro kill was
I had that number 2.
That was very, very good. I mean, he gets his fucking guts all sliced up.
Yeah, and he gets that fucking the other little sword through his eye. Yeah, the baton.
Yep, and courtesy of the worst character in this movie. So. It's Yeah, I thought the kill was really good.
Yep. Jason, what'd you have?
Well, I mean, besides the one that we talked about, the other one I had is actually it's not a kill, technically. It's the Sub-Zero Jax interaction.
I had that as well.
Freezes his arms off.
Dude, when he catches both of his hands,
oh man,
and he just starts to freeze all the way down to his shoulders, and then they just break, and then he just he looks at him and he just kicks him off the edge, and he falls down thinking he's dead. So I mean, it's close to a kill, but I thought that was a great way of explaining Jack's disabilities.
Yeah,
and showing Sub-Zero's power.
Yep.
Yeah, look, this movie did a lot of good things for Sub-Zero. Where Sub-Zero certainly was, he certainly got
trash.
Fucked.
He was trash in the first version.
Yeah, dude, he's legit in this fucking movie for sure.
I mean, it takes two people to even take him down. So
yeah, the only other one I had listed on here, speaking about Jax, was just Jax's head smash on Reiko.
Yeah,
that was a little bit quick, but it was brutal.
Yeah, but it was just good. It was another fatality from the game, so it was good to see.
Hey, quick trivia. Did you guys know who played Reiko?
No, the guy with the hammer, right?
No.
Yes.
No.
Nathan Jones.
Who?
The ex-WWE Nathan Jones.
XWE. I'm looking at him right now. Oh, this looks like the same guy from Troy who gets cut down at the beginning of Troy.
Yeah, he's also, I think he's in...
he is the guy from Troy.
Yeah.
Interesting. This dude just dies. He's just big and he dies.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's all he does.
Yeah, he was in SmackDown.
Yep.
Yeah, interesting. Well, he did.
He's super dead.
Yep. Do you guys have any other good kills?
I did not.
Yep. There was a lot of other good kills in this movie. I thought one of the other good ones, maybe it wasn't as fun, but the one at the beginning of the movie where Sub-Zero freezes Scorpion's wife and child, that's just brutal.
God damn it.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not listing that as a best kill, but you're as I was making this list, I was like, God damn, that's brutal.
Well, with Scorpion in that opening scene takes down 20 people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before Sub-Zero takes him down.
Yeah.
And a really good fight, by the way, too.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So favorite character. So this is the Kano Award.
Yep. I mean, it's a Kano sweep.
Yeah. So outside of Kano, let's talk about just a couple other honorary mentions, maybe, if you guys have anybody else that you kind of liked in the movie. What do you think, Dave?
Why'd you have to go to me first, man? I don't like anybody else. Everybody else sucks.
All right.
No.
Well, I have two other people that I liked.
No. I thought Jax's character was good.
Yeah.
And
Raiden was so much better.
Yeah, he's better. I did like oh God, what's his name? Now I'm blanking on the guy's name. We said it earlier, but Cabal. Yes, that would be my number 2.
I have Cabal listed as my first honorary mention. Just I think another bit of comedy for the movie.
Yeah. And
I know we mentioned this last week, but man, I thought for sure that was Pedro Pascal whenever he first started talking. I was like, dude, Mando, let's go. But it's not him, but just very entertaining. And watching him kick Liu Kang's ass, very, very
satisfying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. This Liu Kang is better than the last Liu Kang, though.
Yeah.
Is he?
I also have for favorite character here. I also have Kung Lao. Dave, I know you mentioned earlier you weren't a big Kung Lao fan, but I just like this dude's overall attitude the whole time. Look, he's a bad motherfucker. He's better than Liu Kang.
Yeah.
When it comes to fighting, and he knows it. And I just love his whole attitude towards Kano and the way he is towards training everybody. And look, this guy had the best kill in the movie by far. So I like Kung Lao's character.
That's fair. That's fair. Now, he does die pretty unceremoniously.
He does have the worst death in the movie.
Yeah.
And I have that in my kind of issues later on, is Kung Lao's death. That's weak as fuck.
I mean, he literally just gets the life sucked out of him. That's it.
He's just standing there.
Yeah.
And then Shang Tsung is like, your soul is mine. And it reaches out and fucking like force chokes him until he comes in. Like, could we at least have a fight? Could we do something? Could he be down?
Yeah, it made him look like you would never even have a chance. You could put in $1 million quarters and never win.
Yeah.
Like yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, I thought that was pretty sad.
Yeah.
Jason, do you have any other favorites?
No, not really. I think we nailed it.
All right, least favorites. I think we all have different least favorites here.
I'm going to go Cole. I did change it during, like, right after talking about it, or before we went live. Cole is my least favorite character. I think he's the most useless character on here. I know the story centers around him, but I could care less about him. The story did not do anything to make me motivated to care about him. I think his power, his what is it called, Josh?
His Okana
is trash.
So I have that in issues as well.
So
dude, what is that?
I think I figured it out. I think he takes the kinetic energy of the beating he takes and then redirects it towards as his power.
So he's a shitty Black Panther. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Got it.
So here's my question, because I agree that that's what it seems to be presented as against Goro. But when he's fighting Sub-Zero at the end, like, none of that shit's happening. Like, his suit ain't lighting up or anything like that. Like,
I mean, let's be honest. He was pretty much getting his ass whooped by Sub-Zero until Scorpion shows up.
Yeah,
I know, but
so why doesn't he become the new Scorpion? That's like my biggest fucking problem.
I know.
With
I
his
really
character.
thought he was.
yeah, let's cross that bridge.
Yeah,
later, because I want to spend some time on that.
Yeah, so I got him on my list later too. My least favorite is Reiko, the Hammer.
I got Reiko listed as one of my two.
Yeah, he's trash too.
I just look. I mean, I vaguely remember him in games, but in this movie, I think he might have a couple of words that he says. He really doesn't do anything. He offhandedly wins, I guess, the first matchup with Jax by throwing a big hand or knocking a big hand over on Sonya.
Kano knocks the hand down.
Okay.
But Reiko just kind of like beats Jax's ass.
Yeah.
But when they have the fight, that rematch between Jax and him, the fight is too short.
Yes, it's like
way too short.
like 5 or 10 seconds,
and it's not enjoyable to watch until the finisher.
Yeah, it's kind of like the equivalent of two big guys like in the WWE. It's like watching Sheamus versus Braun Strowman, right? Like, it's going to be hard hitting, but it's really not going to be super entertaining.
Yeah, it doesn't play. I get what you're saying, but in this case, it just doesn't. It's hard to make that fly when it's entertainment for television or for a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Liu Kang.
Okay.
I hate both Liu Kangs. Like,
do you just not like Liu Kang as a character? I guess.
I don't know, man. Like,
you know what the first Liu Kang had that was way better than the second one.
Hair,
personality,
hair.
I knew it. I called it.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. This Liu Kang, like, spoiler alert, when we talk about this later, this Liu Kang is worse than the other Liu Kang.
He is.
In my opinion.
That he is a noob.
Yeah, like, he sucks. So, he's my least favorite by far.
Dave?
I already went.
Yeah, he went with Cole.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So with the new movie, what's better about this Mortal Kombat to you guys than the last Mortal Kombat?
I think the production value, the acting, and
almost everything, really. I mean, there's I mean, I know that's a blanket statement, but the effects 100 times better.
Yeah,
Especially when you consider everything that Sub-Zero did in this movie compared to anything he did in the last movie.
bro. Just in effects, like if you just wanted to show somebody like one of the best moments in this movie, it's him versus Jax when he's freezing the shotgun and Jax gets the shot off.
Oh
And
yeah,
you see all the little pellets coming out, kind of spreading out. Dude, that shit is so much better than the first time when he froze Sonia's gun in the first movie.
Yeah.
Man.
I even if you are as fair as you can be and you compare this movie to current movies and you compare the 1995 Mortal Kombat to other 1995 movies, I think this still compares favorably.
Yeah. For sure.
And I don't know if do we want to merge this category, but I mean, I have something that is worse.
Yeah, I have that coming up next here.
Okay.
Just a couple things real quick. I enjoyed the adult language in this movie.
Yep.
I thought that just gave it a little extra added oomph to the movie, and you got things like Kano telling him to suck a sack, which is just so good. And then the other thing I had was just the creativity of the kills. Like cutting that bitch in half with Kung Lao, the fucking the lawn gnome in Kano's eye.
yeah.
Jax's head smash. I thought there were so many like just cool ways that they killed people.
To piggyback on what you're saying, I think the reason why they went off so well is because they weren't forced. Like they didn't try and just pigeonhole. Well, we got to get this finisher in here somehow, and then just pull it out of your ass. Like it actually went with what was going on in the movie.
Yeah. Well, I think it was just in the first iteration. They're 100% by the book. Like they have one side that's like, okay, we got to get X, Y, Z, 1, 2, 3 in this movie. It all has to come, fit with the video game. Whereas here, I just think they did a better job. I mean, they did have the flawless victory and some of the cliche stuff, but I think they did a better job of fitting it in. Overall.
So on the flip side of that, I guess what's worse about the new movie / maybe some issues that we have. So Dave, you said you kind of had something that was worse.
I think the story is worse because there's no tournament. I mean,
so I have no tournament and the story being worse. And it's kind of funny as I start thinking about this, this is kind of like Street Fighter a little bit, where they tried to change it into a different style movie.
Exactly. That's what I have written. It says, well, the entire premise of the movie was the Mortal Kombat tournament. Yeah. And no tournament ever took place.
Yeah, I mean, they talk about it a lot in this movie. They're like, we must prepare you for a tournament. And it's like, okay, well, we're preparing. And then there's no tournament. So, like, I guess they're setting up the tournament for the sequel or the third movie.
Maybe the sequel would be more tournament-based. I don't know. I also felt like they just kind of, like, made fun of the premise of the movie where, like, Sonya tees it up. She's like, it all leads to this, Mortal Kombat. And Cole's like, really? Did you just make that up? It's not even spelled right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Part of me is like, as I've rewatched that, I hate that scene more and more because I'm like, dude, fuck you, bro. Like, he is totally no-selling this whole thing.
The only part of that, and this is to me like one of the segments of the movie that we can take everything that they show us and be like, okay, well, look, you got to stretch your imagination. You got to err on the side of imagination. But when he says, like, in that moment, he's like, okay, so what's going on? And she's like, well, I did some digging and I found out there's alternate realms. And you're just like, you found that out in this trailer? All on your own.
Hey, dude, she's lived there her whole life, bro. Pump them brakes.
So I just, like, and then it goes right into that. Just like, oh, yeah. And then they call it combat. And then he just kind of blows it off. And it's just like, that whole scene just it's just not good.
No.
If it wasn't for Kano in the dark starting to spout off, that scene could have killed the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's so weird because this movie did so many things right. And like the writing is better in this movie than the other movie, but it's
that's
like
not very hard.
no, there wasn't a very high mark to hit. But I just feel like the overall story of this movie, just like yeah, they're following along, and then Cole as a main character, like you have this entire franchise that you could pull from, and instead you're like, you know what, none of those characters fit. We're just gonna create a new one, and then that was
my biggest pet peeve on this whole movie.
Because you could have just made this guy Scorpion.
Yes.
Who the fuck is Cole?
Yeah.
Why?
He's nobody.
Yeah.
Like you could have very easily, like he could have been asleep somewhere, like in the compound, and because he'd already been seeing visions of hell and of I can't remember the guy's name. Hakira Hashi or whatever his name was.
Yeah.
He'd already been seeing images of this guy. So it's like totally possible he could have gone to sleep, had some sort of a dream where he interacts with this dude who's like, hey man, you're part of my lineage. Look, I'm going to paraphrase here. Okay. Hey man, you're part of my lineage. How about I just make you the new Scorpion and you go take care of Sub-Zero?
Yeah.
And then he wakes up, gets beat up a little bit, and bam, as Okana comes out and he shoots a fucking spear out of his hand or he shoots fire, whatever. Like, problem solved right there. And this dude is the new Scorpion, and then you get Scorpion versus Sub-Zero at the end with the main character of the movie, and it's gold.
Yep. And look, I don't know if y'all got hit with the switcheroo the first time through, but whenever his gold armor shows up, I thought that was the Scorpion uniform, and I was like, oh shit, here we go.
So did I.
And then
it makes sense because he's a descendant of the guy who's Scorpion.
Yeah.
It's not that hard to just make that happen.
You have to believe at one point during the writing, someone brought this up. There's no fucking way. But I don't know. Super missed opportunity, and like he wasn't even an interesting character. So,
but that would have at least putting him, putting the yellow, hood on him, and making him Scorpion would have made him infinitely more interesting.
Yes. And then, dude, you'd have been so excited for the sequel.
For that last fight.
Yeah.
Well, that last fight would have taken on a whole new angle.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But too, is like you wouldn't have to necessarily, like, just because Cole ends up being the main person in this story, and if he becomes Scorpion, doesn't mean he's got to be the main person in the sequel.
Correct.
You could have easily just made this guy Scorpion, made the movie bookended by, the fight between Scorpion and Sub-Zero, and then the next movie he's still in it, but now Johnny Cage becomes the primary character in the next movie, or whoever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, it's not like you got to hitch your horse to this guy and he's got to be the main lead in every movie. But now the way it's teed up is that he might be. Because he's going to go find Johnny Cage.
And then we're going to get another Scorpion appearance. Like, because Cole isn't Scorpion, they're going to have to wheel Scorpion out there.
Yeah, you can't have a Mortal Kombat movie and not have Sub-Zero or Scorpion in it. What if they fix it
in the time between now and the next movie comes out, where he just has a throwaway line where he becomes Scorpion? He's like, "Oh, my Okana morphed into me becoming Scorpion as part of my heritage." I would accept that.
Well, what I thought was going to happen. This is honestly what I thought was going to happen at the end of the movie. I thought the actual Scorpion was going to hand him the
dagger,
the spear, right? And he was going to pass the torch. And then that was going to tee up the sequel. It's like, okay, his Okana upgraded and now he's Scorpion.
Yeah.
Cuz then you'd have been like, "Oh shit, I can't wait for the sequel when Cole is actually fucking saying get over here and being stupid." That would have been good, but look, they still have time to fix it, and maybe with enough fan outcry, if there's any. Maybe we're the only jackasses who care about this. If there's enough outcry, maybe they could change it, but we'll see.
Speaking of get over here, I had that listed as something that was worse this time around.
Oh yeah,
I will tell you, I think the I think just the anticipation leading up to it and hearing it, I think it maybe was a little bit of a letdown because as I've watched it again a couple of times, it gets a little bit better. But it is still a little bit of a letdown. Another thing I had as far as aging worse was just the music. Overall, just the music was obviously we just missed the song.
Yep. They did have a remix of it, sort of.
Yeah.
It was more. Look, I'm not going to say this new version isn't like terrible, but it just wasn't as good as the original.
On music.
Yes.
Yeah, because you could hear it come up like in the Goro fight and stuff too. You could start hearing it come up where it's like dun 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 dun, you know, and you're like, oh, okay, it's there. But I just feel like they could have just brought it back, man.
I was gonna say, dude, why not just go all in? Like just do it. Like,
yeah.
At least during one of those fights.
Yeah, we talked about Kung Lao's death. That was one I had. The only other one I had was just Outworld in general. I feel like the Outworld and the original just looks more Outworldy. I don't know if that makes sense.
Dude, the entire Outworld in this movie took place like on the top of a cliff.
Dude, I was going to say, this just looks like they're in like Nevada.
The Badlands or something. Yeah, exactly. Like, can we just get something where there's nothing in the background?
Yeah, like the Outworld of the first one, it's dark. I mean, first of all, let me set the scene for you, okay? It's dark. They have fires. They have walls that are knocked down. Like, it just looks like a terrible place to live. Like, this other place is like, it's just a desert.
Yeah.
Like, that kind of sucks, but it's not terrible.
I mean, this guy with all this power, and this is where he lives.
Why not? Why? I mean, maybe I just don't know the lore. Okay, it's very possible. I don't play a lot of Mortal Kombat, right? But why not have like Shang Tsung? I mean, he's a sorcerer. Why not have him in a fucking tower or some other type of fortress with an army of like people around? I don't know. I'm just saying. That's just my thing.
Is that what they do in Flesh and Bone?
That's not the name. That's not the name of the show. It's called Shadow and Bone.
But anyway.
And it's like the best show on Netflix right now.
Oh, yeah, okay. Did you guys have anything else that was like an issue or something maybe that's worse in this movie than the previous one?
Nah, I've said the two major ones I had.
No, that's fine.
All right, well, let's hit the last category we have here, which is just character comparisons here. I just wanted to talk about which of the main characters here, which ones do we feel like were better?
Wait, we didn't get the Roy Batty Award.
Oh, yeah, my bad. The Roy Batty Award for overacting.
I mean, I think this is the same character in both movies. As
Raiden?
I thought it was going to be Shang Tsung.
For overacting, you had Shang Tsung?
I had Raiden and Shang Tsung was my runner-up.
Oh, man, I had Kano. Look, it's not a bad thing. Like, I'm not shitting on it by any means, but man, he is fucking like he is just throwing 100 miles an hour the whole time.
Yeah.
Well, he's. I would say he might win the out acting award because he's out acting everyone else on screen.
Oh, damn.
Dude, like legit. The more we've talked about it, if Kano was not in this movie, I would give this movie like a 63. Like I would say this is not a movie I would watch.
It would be way worse, that's for sure.
Yeah. All right, so let's go through these characters.
All right, character comps. So just because we were talking about Raiden, let's hit Raiden. Which Raiden's better, the old or the new one?
The new
one, but it ain't by much. It's like
yeah, it's close.
I went with the old one only because he had more lines and you could understand what he was saying.
Okay.
But this Raiden was at least like visually, I thought it was a better representation of Raiden.
Visually, his powers, like this Raiden actually felt like a god. The Christopher Lambert fucking There Can Be Only One did not give me those vibes.
Yeah. But at least he had more lines and I could understand his shit. So that's why I went with the old Raiden.
Gotcha.
All right. What about Liu Kang?
I think the old one.
I'm going to go old one.
I'm going OG Liu Kang as well. This new Liu Kang dude, like his body is so weird too, man. He's a weird looking guy.
Yeah, he just does not look intimidating at all.
No.
I feel like you could have got anybody to play Liu Kang, I feel like.
You could have brought back the old Liu Kang.
Probably still in good shape.
I don't know. All right. Kano.
New Kano. I mean, it's not even fucking close.
Not even close.
I wrote Kano. New. Obvious. Sonia Blade.
I feel like you could go either one here. I think they were both throwaways for me, but I'll go new one, I guess, because she had more kind of going on with the story.
Yeah, I'll say new one simply because she was at least heavily involved in pushing the story in the middle.
Agreed.
With the old Sonya, because that Veronica Vaughn is one piece of ass. But they both suck.
Yeah.
All right, Jax.
New Jax.
Yeah, obviously. I think he actually has a story in this one. And I like the guy who plays him as well. He was in another good movie called Glory Road about the first college basketball team that started 5 black players in the national championship. Good movie, and I like him in that movie as well. All right, Shang Tsung.
I think old.
I agree. I'm an old Shang Tsung as well. Although the new one has gotten better the more I've watched it, but he's just weak as fuck. I don't know. I felt like I actually scared of the original one.
Yeah, I'll say the original, but the soul stealing was much better in the second one.
Oh yeah. Yep, I agree. But again, like I just like Kung Lao is fucking crushing souls, and then all of a sudden Shang Tsung's like, "Hey man, your soul's mine. Come on over."
Yeah. Hey, I got a secret to tell you. Come here.
Yeah, that's like as bad as Johnny Ringo's death in Wyatt Earp. Johnny Ringo.
Bop.
Yeah. Like that shit just comes out of nowhere. You're like, what the fuck just happened?
Johnny Ringo.
Yeah, for our audience, if you ever find yourself in a gunfight and somebody on the other side says your name out loud,
duck.
Don't go, huh?
Don't poke your head up from behind that rock.
Yeah, I'm over here.
All right, Prince Goro.
New Goro.
New for sure. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I thought I was excited to see him when he came out of that little shed, and I was like, oh shit, like he looked good.
Yeah, he did.
He looked good.
He was my one worry wart going into this movie because I knew he was going to be at some point.
Yeah,
and I just remember how bad original Goro was, and I was like, I didn't know which direction they were going to go.
I'm a little disappointed they killed him in the first movie, though, if assuming a sequel ever sees the light of day.
That scene where it slows down and he's in the air and he hits him right in the chest with all 4 hands.
Yeah,
man, that's good shit.
It is.
That's good shit. But they could always bring in. There was a female Goro or a female whatever race that he is.
Yeah.
There was a female one in later games, so maybe we see something like that pop up later. Scorpion.
Old Scorpion.
Really?
Yeah. I'm going to have to agree because at least old Scorpion was in the movie.
Yeah.
New Scorpion wasn't Scorpion in the whole beginning part.
So I'll say this.
He shows up at the very end and helps out. And the fight, and look, if we go back to last week, my favorite fight was the Scorpion Johnny Cage fight. Yep. So I have to go old Scorpion, even though his snake thing coming out of the palm was god awful.
Oh, it's so fucking terrible. I'll say this. Terrible. This one had the potential to. It should have blown the old one out of the water with the opening scene and what we were capable of getting. Because actually, I really like that the actor who played Scorpion, Hiroyuki Sanada. He was in The Last Samurai with Tom Cruise, and he's been in some other stuff as well. Was he in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Dave? I don't know, but
he might have been.
Okay. He could have been, but he was also in the Wolverine. He's been in some other stuff. But anyway, yeah, they had all the potential, but yeah, I go old.
I would go new only because, at least I feel like this dude has some screen time and some story other than just showing up, doing a couple of cartwheels, and then getting beat up by Johnny Cage.
I mean, I agree. I think you could go either way here.
Yeah, I don't think there's really a wrong answer.
Hold on, I'm trying to see here if he was in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, but I don't think so.
He was not. I've already looked.
Nope. All right. Last one. I think this is an obvious one, but Sub-Zero.
New, without even a doubt.
Bruh. Yeah. Dude, talk about a huge glow up. This Sub-Zero is fucking brutal.
Yeah, he is.
He shows up in the streets. He's making it snow. He's throwing ice everywhere. I mean, he fucking freezes Jax's arms and blows them off of his goddamn body.
Yep. Yeah, he has no remorse.
No.
I mean, not to mention that he does kill the Scorpion's wife and son, who's, I guess, like 5 or 6.
Yeah, it's brutal.
He looks fairly young, and like you see them there, they're like frozen to death.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Yeah,
and then I mean the whole fight scene at the end, where like you said, I mean it takes 2 of them to beat him.
Yep.
And dude, I mean some of the stuff he's doing in that fight scene was very creative. Like the one where he like takes his own blood, freezes it, and uses it as a fucking dagger,
yep.
and it creates a wall of ice to throw him through. Like, dude, like whoever did all this. All like the choreographing for the fights and like writing of these fights, they were big Sub-Zero fans, and they wanted to make sure this dude got his due.
He's like, man, I'm a Sub-Zero main, so this guy's gonna be the best villain of all time. This dude's gonna be better than Shang Tsung.
Yeah, dude, he was fucking like way better than Shang Tsung.
I don't know at what point Shang Tsung like had some kind of control over that.
Shang Tsung.
Yeah, Shang Tsung.
But fucking Shang Tsung rolls up and he's like, yo, next time you see me, I'm going to come with armies. And Raiden's like, how about you just get out of here, man? And he just shoots him with a lightning bolt and he fucking warps out.
Yeah.
Like, dude, like Sub-Zero's over here. Like, everybody's having to gang up to beat Sub-Zero. And Raiden's like, goodbye. Boop.
Yeah, it almost makes you wonder, like, why didn't he just do that from the start so that we could actually have the tournament?
Because the movie has to happen.
Yeah, because there's got to be a movie, Jason.
I'm going to need you to get all the way off my back.
That's right. Well, that's it, man. That's it. That's all the categories we had for the movie here. Like I said, overall, I would recommend this movie. It's entertaining, if nothing else, just for the fights.
Yes. Agreed. It's
if you ever played the game, if you were ever a fan of the arcade, if you even remember watching the first one, you should watch the new one.
Yeah, it's
and then the big pop at the end is you get to see Cole, who's going to go on a quest to go find Johnny Cage. So that was a big pop for me because he's my favorite character anyway. So
yep. Hopefully Cole never comes back. Maybe he dies on his way to find Johnny Cage.
We can only be so lucky.
All right, everybody. I think that's it. We've successfully completed another
podcast.
That's right. All right.
Next week, we're bringing back the AFI list. We're going to number 93, The French Connection.
So, I've never seen it.
So you guys got a week to watch that shit.
Yep, same. I have a week to watch it because I haven't watched it either. So.
Me neither.
Well,